It's nighttime with the OldGuard Podcast, getting tipsy, gaining hard with controllers clash. Cheap night, cause we're feeling kinda thrifty, gonna send back a few, get a little gifty. Hype up the chat, have a laugh or two, look for me and the crew. It's game time with the host, GunghoGuns, and the rest of the pride. It's OldGuard Podcast time.
I just want to say for those
I'm
of you in the
not.
United States who live in Florida, good luck.
Don't go to work tomorrow.
Good luck,
Good
Godspeed.
luck, Dirk.
Yeah, take a day off, man.
I can't. I have to work tomorrow morning.
Ah, Jesus, dude.
Luck.
No, but before we actually get into this crazy stuff, man, it definitely is getting pretty scary down there. I was actually watching a video on YouTube as they were like showing up and people are leaving, just crazy. I mean, it's going to be like the worst since 100 years that's been down there or something like
It's
that.
gonna be a rough one.
Dude, I was doing an install at a facility down in St. Petersburg, and during our meeting today, I jokingly asked my boss, I'm like, "Hey, I should have my tech like drive out to our facility and continue the install, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, 100%. Just make sure he drives out there in a boat, though."
That's fucked up. But all joking aside, we are, definitely saying good luck to everybody, and we're praying for everybody in Florida, and it's being affected tomorrow. Good luck, everybody, and we hope to see you in a couple of days when all this shit's over.
Thanks.
Good luck, everybody.
That includes
As
you, Dirk.
as guns as people would say, Bismillah.
That's right.
That's only guns as people.
Yeah, right.
Nobody else is in this chat.
It's a
My people are
conspiracy, man.
Mandalorian, just FYI. But that's all right. That's all right. No, so definitely, Dirk. We want to say good luck, buddy. I know you're gonna be down there, but you're a Chad, man. You'll be fine. Go steal a boat.
Yeah, you're in the Navy. You can swim.
Yeah,
be all right,
everybody
bro.
used to be a seaman, so
Hey
Once a
man,
seaman,
tell you
always
what,
a seaman.
I swam to victory one time at birth, or not at birth, but at
At
constipation.
birth?
I mean, not constipation.
At conception.
You know what? Yeah, conception. That's the word.
same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Right,
You
Mara?
swim in.
Education
You
right
swim
there,
in
folks.
during consumption, and you swim out during
Consumption. None of you say the right word.
Bro
Listen,
swam from the butt.
How many languages do you speak,
All
Vala?
Let's.
Almost two.
Almost two.
Yeah, Mendola
One of
is
them
one.
is fictional.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there
Alright,
is gibberish.
Before we go crazy, I wanted to actually talk to you guys. Did you guys hear about Ashes of Creation Alpha 2 being moved up to October 25th, which is about, what, less than 15 days away or so? Something like that?
It's 16 days away, actually.
Thank you, Mr. Nerd, over here counting. What a...
I don't
Hey,
know, though.
You want to know
Someone's
if you're
gotta correct
mistaken? You were. We can't misinform our viewers, okay? They're gonna
Oh, I'm
show
sorry.
up in
Fact
15
checker.
days
It's
and be like,
16
"What
days.
the fuck? Gun said 15 days. I'm here." That asshole
Listen.
lied to me.
Listen, it's 2024. Whenever you give a number, it's always +1. Don't you know that 2 + 2 is not 4 anymore? It's 5.
Oh, don't do
That-
this to me. I'm too bad at math.
The 2 identifies as a 3. I'm just saying.
I've been
Two,
doing that
I'm
with
not
my.
good enough at math for this joke to land.
Is that
You guys-
some Dr. Disrespect math you're working on?
Something like that. What up, Din? Save us.
You don't measure butt to tip.
And this is where
anyways.
it go to. Anyways, yes. So for you guys that are going to be playing Alpha 2, I will be there. I know Fate will be there. I'm not sure who else will be there. Excuse my friends on here. The old guard we are old and grumpy. Some of us, Vala's still young, so
Yeah, as a popular streamer once said, "If you're a broke boy, just say so."
Yes.
I'm a broke boy.
Was that
I
Pokemon that
am.
said that?
Yeah, that was Pokemon about her cookies because
Oh,
people said they were too expensive.
Bro, she's
Was
trying to
that-
charge
Oh, wow.
people for like $100 for cookies.
Was that
That's
Bro,
before
you
or
not
have
after
a
she said the
three-pack
N word?
of like
These cookies
10
better be
cookies.
like dipped in gold or something.
Better be dipped in our poop, dude.
Yeah, no,
Jesus,
I'm good.
Dirk. So this is what the people from Florida are into, guys. Did you hear that?
On
Holy shit!
back to the games though. I just wanted to really quickly did you guys hear about the release of a game called it's not up you guys' alley I think usually, but I wanted to mention it because I was invested in it and
Sure.
that matters. But it's called Tiny Glade. Did you guys hear
I've
about that?
seen
I
Tiny
saw
Glade.
it recently.
I don't even know what that is.
So
I saw
it's
screenshots.
Is that
it's
like a sex
really
game?
no. So it's like a really laid back, like really cozy kind of game.
Okay.
It came out really recently, on Steam, and it's like a diorama building game, but you don't have any resources or anything. So it's an entirely creative game. So I know it probably wasn't something to be up you guys' alley, but I wanted to mention it anyways because I thought it was really good and like it's a really good start. And I'm really hoping that they add more like assets to the game and stuff.
Are you playing it right now,
Diarrhea,
Vala?
Not this exact second, but I was playing it earlier.
Okay.
It's I enjoy it quite a lot. It's very cozy, it's very calming. It's like a good change of pace from some of the other like games that have been coming out lately. Especially with it being fall and it's just
Sure,
nice,
sure.
time for the season.
Well, if anybody is playing, what was it again, Vala? I'm sorry.
It's called Tiny Glade.
Tiny Glade. So if anybody else
Yep.
is playing Tiny Glade, hit up Vala here. She is a star on TikTok. And she also makes balloon pops on her spare time.
I sure I do.
I was plugging it in for you, just in case you worked. You can be like, here's an idea. But anyway, yeah, hit her up. Maybe you guys can be friends. Who knows? Making friends out here the OldGuard way.
The OldGuard way.
That's
Yeah.
not a good way.
By
I know,
touching.
man. Why you gotta make it weird,
God
man? We were on
damn
a
it.
good roll. We were on a good roll.
I was trying to make something wholesome for the first time in my
I
life.
know. I'm sorry, Vala. We have some asshole friends.
Listen, the ship has so many holes. You got to fill it with something, man.
My God.
What the
Jesus
Sigma?
And you got to
Hey.
fill it with the old guard.
Fill it with the. See, he gets it.
Oh
Now
no!
that I've said something really calming and like
Oh.
innocent for once in my life,
Stop! Don't do it. Anything more will just cause it to go worse and worse.
Oh my
Vala,
god.
you're supposed to be the voice of reason. You're supposed to reel us back.
I
when
can't
we
be
go
the
too
voice of
far.
reason because I recently had multiple people in my life find something out about me and say, "Ooh, you need to go to therapy." So yeah, so I can't. be the
So
voice
when's
of reason
Ashes
right now.
coming out? When's Ashes coming out? again?
So-
2030?
Tomorrow.
2035?
Ooh.
25th of
They,
October is Alpha 2. And I will be there. I
They
think
actually
Theo will
like,
be
make
there.
some changes to it that would warrant it being bumped up.
So
Um,
it was supposed to be in November, and they pushed it down a couple of days because I think they fixed the server issues. Because I believe that's what it was. They had some server issues. I know a lot of people were kind of keeping it quiet, but the reason why, and again, this is it could. I also think it was a business decision, but I do think that it was because they were having some issues with servers, and they bumped it to November to make sure they have enough time to fix it. And it looks like they fixed it because in their last stream they said, "Hey, we're gonna open up on the 25th." I mean, I'm excited, dude.
I
I'm
think
gonna
an
go in there.
intern messed up. I think an intern who wrote up that website for the alpha keys messed up because in their original stream, when they got the backlash, they said October 25th, even like back then. But when they put the website up so you can buy the keys and you know how it has a description for each one, that
Yeah.
one said November. So I think whoever designed that messed up and then probably got fired. Yeah, thrown under the bus. Like, it was his
Okay, so
fault.
check this out. I got a conspiracy theory. Ashes is going to play exactly like Throne and Liberty, and they saw how well it's doing on Steam, so they just went, "Oh yeah, but put Alpha out."
I mean, dude,
I'm calling it.
I would be okay with that because I'll be honest, dude. I'm having so much fun with Throne and Liberty. So, you know what? I mean, there's definitely some problems.
No, I
but
am
it's not
too.
a bad game. It's not a
I
bad
mean,
game at all.
if it plays like Arcage, like Arcage's combat was better than Throwing Liberties. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I missed the good parts of Arcade.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Steven, like the owner of the company and everything, he's wanting it to be based very much like Arcade. Like that was his jam. And he's taking a lot of inspiration from Arcade.
Well, we just hope that it works out. So anyway, if you guys are going to be playing in Alpha 2 for the Ashes of Creation, think about joining us, and we'll definitely be there, and we can kind of test it together.
Yeah,
I'll be
Guns
there
and
in
I
spirit alone.
Guns and I
Jesus
synced our
Christ.
life savings on these keys. So please come watch us.
Yeah, right.
All the
Make
our
potato
money
farm
back.
money.
I think Dirk also wanted to talk about a different game, right, Dirk?
Yep, I haven't played this game at all. I just wanted to bring up the topic of what's surrounding the game.
Sure.
Silent Hill 2 remake, and game remakes in general. Because I've been noticing a lot of games that that have been remade in the past. Things like, Silent Hill for starters, and I think there was a Final
Final
Horizon
Fantasy.
Zero.
VII. Yeah, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII remake.
And I just
Horizon
wanted
Zero
you
Dawn
guys'
2 remake.
opinions on how you feel about remakes and specific game genres.
We
So
need them.
I haven't played it in particular, but I know my fiance played it, and he was the Resident Evil, one of the Resident Evil remakes, Resident Evil 4, I think. He played the remake, and oh my god, I did not see him for days. He loves those games anyways, but he said the remakes were very good. So if they're doing remakes like that, then I think that they're great, as long as they're not like butchering the game. You know what I mean?
I think it's a double-edged sword though, because like while they're good, it kind of just points to the fact that older games being remade, like graphical remakes, like the storytelling and writing is just way better than anything coming out now.
Yep.
And I think that's the reason why they're doing so well. Because like think of the only two companies that are making well-written games right now are Sucker Punch and Rockstar, and all the others are just flushing their life savings away.
Which
Yeah,
is so
that's true.
weird
The-
to me. I don't get it. Like,
You
if you're,
do-
it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you want to do that when you could just put a little more effort into it and then get more money? Like, financially, it'd be a better decision to put more money into an effort into like making a better game because you'll get more of a return. But they just don't.
You don't
It's-
understand. It's the gamer's fault.
Yeah, it's a two kind of approach here, or two issues. So one, you got nostalgia. You got the unknown of making something that no one has ever seen, played, characters, world, and no one knows about, and hoping it does well. Or you can make a like HD remaster remake of a game that released in like 1999 that you know people loved and have been complaining and making posts on forums and sending you death threats like, hey, make the goddamn remake already. And you're like, all right, fine. We know that will sell. Versus the other one, The other thing is nostalgia. Well, I want to say it's nostalgia that these games are doing really well as remakes. And I say that because Final Fantasy VII released back then and people loved it. If Final Fantasy VII released now without ever being released back then, I am like 90% sure people would complain that it was too political because of the environment we're in right now.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So it may not do well right now if it was like just a fresh game no one ever heard about, but because it did so well back then in that time period, them doing a remake, it's doing extremely well now because everybody loves 7, everybody loves 8. I love 9, and I wish they would make a remake of 9 personally.
9 needs
but-
one.
Yeah.
Well,
12.
what do you think, Caaz, about this?
So, yeah, I think that there's a different take to it. There's two things going on, and I think Odra hit it on the writing thing, right? We've seen this with new games as well as with remakes, that old writing teams had a better formula, and that is to copy from the Helldivers 2 devs and also to take from a video I watched earlier today on Asmon's channel. There is if you make a game for everybody, you make a game for nobody mentality. That is what makes old games good. Old games were very narrow in their scope. They weren't they didn't want to capture everybody. They had a target audience, and they went for them. We see that with Space Marine 2. It was like a love letter to the entire franchise, and that's why I think Saber Interactive, when they do the KOTOR remake, is going to do a good job. But I think that we see a group of people that are now sitting in suits, right? And they write by committee. So somebody brings them a story idea, and what do? They hire these consultants, and the consultants are like, oh, if you do this, somebody on Twitter is going to complain, so you don't want to do that. You should just take this out. And what we get is a soulless husk of a game like Starfield, where it's 3 miles wide and 1 inch deep. There's absolutely no like flavor to the writing. There's no consequences. There's no edge to the universe. There's no there's nothing of importance that your character can do where you're like, oh shit, like everything is safe, hunky dory, everybody gets along. It's very much like Gene Roddenberry's idea of Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 1 and why it sucked is because he's like, there's no conflict in the 24th century, and that's boring. What makes like humanity fun and what makes games fun is when you have characters who at first don't like each other, but go on like a journey together and start to become a team. And when you see that in a lot of old games, we see that in Final Fantasy VII. We see that in the old KOTOR games. We see these characters with individualities. And when they come together, you're like, oh shit, this is cool. And it was good writing. And when you look at new games like Mass Effect Andromeda, where like every single one of the characters is just like a hug boxing piece of shit and they have terrible dialogue, it's a direct effect of these writing people that write fan fiction instead of something enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be the only one in here. I have a complete opposite like reaction to that. I fucking hate it. I'll be honest. I personally hate when they remake games, when they remake movies, when they remake shows.
It's lazy.
It's lazy. Two, they never do it justice ever. I've never seen a remake that was successful, ever. And if the game came close, like awesome, but they always butcher it because everything is political now. And Caaz is right, and OldGuard, they are writing by committee, and there's this whole thing, and like, dude, I'll be honest, like I'm a big Star Wars fan, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. Some of the shit that they're throwing out and making you eat is ridiculous. Like some of these rewrites, I'm just looking at them like, what the hell is going on? Like I don't know if you guys heard, but I know Varo is going to be upset here, maybe not, but they're remaking the Harry Potter stuff, and into a show,
What?
The movies?
as a show.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
what the
no.
fuck, man?
Oh, no.
Why not just leave art the way it is and make up your own art, right? Make up your
Money.
whole new thing and go from there. There was
Yeah.
I totally get that, but at the same time, like that's already been done, and it's like
Fire up that Mr. Krabs.
I hate it, dude.
Wait, what are they
I
making?
Really hate it.
Harry Potter
Harry
show.
Potter, dude.
Like a TV show, right? Though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Um,
same-
remaking the characters, like as these young, changing instead of movies, they're just gonna do it's gonna be episodes.
Yeah, it's going to be a show about the same group of people except different actors.
Well, it's like
I don't let Harry
if it's
be.
like that, then yeah, I disagree. But like I'll give you something a little different here. So you got the Lord of the Rings movies, right? So they already made the movies. They made the Hobbit movies.
Sure.
But that world is so expansive. Like there's so much stuff in that world that they haven't like explored in those movies that they made Rings of Power, and that's a TV show. Now, if they did that with the Harry Potter, where like they explore like other nonsense, in like a TV show format, fine. But if it's literally just the 4 or 5 movies that they made into a TV show,
that's exactly what they're doing. And speaking of Lord of the Rings, I mean, I'll just take a quick second. Dirk, stop that, man. What are you doing? We're live, bro.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. This guy.
Oh.
This guy, dude. No, but like, so I watched all the Lord of the Rings shows that they just did, that 2 rings or power rings, or whatever the fuck it's called. Dude, they have, the fucking orcs have families.
Yo, I was on board until I got to the crying orc.
I was too, bro. But it's like, dude, what happened to the whole, oh, I want some man flesh. Can I eat one of its legs? Ooh, its legs look tasty. What the fuck happened to that?
I mean, maybe that was a bad example, but you have like The Mandalorian, you got Ahsoka, like you got in other genres where like they had movies, but then they made TV shows.
Yeah, but what if they
Andor?
What if they remade episode 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars with different actors?
They did. They're called episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that's a try. Yeah, that's not. I wouldn't even compare those. I wouldn't even put those in the same like.
No, but that's what I was saying. If the Harry Potter TV show is literally just a remake of the movies into smaller format, then yeah, that's terrible. But if they explore it, kind of like what they did with the mythical beasts and where to find them spinoffs,
See, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like explore
Just
the
something
world.
totally
It's like
different in the same
other
universe.
People. Yeah,
the reason why I brought this up, and again, this is why I was going to go in with it, is I'm starting to see a trend for video games as well. Silent Hill. What's freaking next? They're going to remake Mario now.
They always remake Mario.
I know, but it's going to be like Mario 1, and it's just going to be like
some of them do well though.
graphics.
Like the Final Fantasy VII remake, right? It sold over 7 million units.
I just think it's lazy. I think there's like,
and it's a different combat style. It's not like turn-based like that. It's actually action combat. Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I brought this up.
I'm not a big fan of it. What do you think, Dirk? Keep going.
So, this is purely my opinion. I would rather not have remakes. I want something new, a new artist's opinion, a new writer's opinion, a new story to delve into. I don't know how if any of you guys played Fable or if you've heard of
Oh
Fable.
man,
Yeah,
I've been waiting for the new one.
I think there's a remake coming for that one as well.
Oh, it's a whole new game.
Yeah, it's
And
Fable 4.
there's controversy about the main character's appearance.
Because they made her look like a
Ugly
potato.
AF.
Yeah, she
I
looks like
haven't
a
seen
fucking.
much of it.
Aren't they
Oh
always
wait, no,
ugly,
that's
though?
right. That's right. I remember that now.
Well, no, they were ugly before because of graphical limitations. They just
Yeah.
straight up made her like malformed and disfigured looking. Like I don't want to like take it that far, but like they went out of
No,
their
you're
way
right.
to
There
make
you
her
go.
look like a potato.
There you
She
go.
looks like a
She's in
Dragon Age
chat.
Veilguard character.
I love it. I love it.
It's...
I'm gonna eat so
even
much food
I was
and get
gonna say
fat.
something, but like also, yeah, no, that's a little.
So supposedly this is the actress for that the character is based
Yeah,
off of.
see, like they
They
just
look
like
exactly the
purposely
same,
made
like
her
me.
uglier.
No, she doesn't. She actually looks really pretty. That's a beautiful
I think
woman.
she looks
Yeah.
pretty. I
That's
think
what
she
we're
did a
saying.
Terrible job. She looks nothing like that.
That's what we're saying. You have
The
this
Outlaws
amazing.
effect.
Person.
Yeah, you have this amazing looking actress who's pretty, and then you fucking put her in. Dude, we face scanned people 10 years ago, and they looked amazing in game. Miranda Lawson from Mass Effect 2 gave me fucking raging hard boners. I see this dude, and I want to chop it off.
I feel like the NBA 2K games have a better face scan than
They
Dev
do.
for new games.
They do.
They do.
No,
bro.
I will say this though. Like somebody did an edit and they did this. Now, while this does look good, like lore wise, immersion wise, there's no fucking way that lady on the right is going through all this like mud and bullshit fighting things, you know, being beat up and is looking like that the entire
Yeah,
time.
and
Warriors
also,
are
like,
ugly.
You know, they're also definitely wearing. You know, it's like that's a full face of makeup. That's
Yeah.
a lot of makeup in that picture. If someone were to look like that, like I don't know how much you guys know about makeup, but for instance, if I were to want
Only
to look
from
like that
the
picture,
makeup that's left
the
on my
amount
pillow after.
of makeup that I would have, they would take me about an hour.
Bro,
Maybe.
it's not fair.
Well-
They always do this to like. This is gonna sound like fucking woke as shit, but they always do this to like women characters if they're
You're
ugly.
woke. You're done.
Yeah,
You're canceled.
if they're women characters, they always say they're ugly in a game. But let's be honest. Do you guys remember like the Witcher 1 and 2 games? How fucking potato-like Geralt of
Oh,
Rivia looked. He looked
Geralt-
horrible.
Geralt was horrible.
20, that was like 20 years ago.
I mean, I could see like
That was when
having
Laura-
an
He
unattractive
didn't
character in a game, but
he
like
didn't
also
improve
if you're gonna
much.
make like a main character, like you're playing a game to be in a fantasy world. Why do you have to also like
I agree.
Yes.
All right, all right, all right.
end?
So back to what I was saying though. Before I said the word fable,
Can't
what I
do
was
that.
trying to
We
say.
all jumped on it.
Yeah, dude, that was some clickbait right there. But what I was basically trying to say is I want them to be able to tell a story and create like good writing and an immersive experience without having to sacrifice like for instance someone's dignity as the character or you know making it so obscene that I can barely focus on the story itself because of how graphically disturbing like something is. Like
got a
I don't
I got a
there's
perfect
always
example
like
for
a
you, Miranda.
catch. There's always a catch, it seems like, to some of these games that are being remade or created. And it's either like Star Wars, was it Outlaw?
Yeah.
You know, this Fable one. I haven't played the Silent Hill 2 remake, but I don't know, just in my experience, not very many good things come from a remake. It's usually either the same or butchered writing or the graphical experience improves, but you experience like a load of bugs. That's just my take.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's the whole. Let me actually show you. I got a perfect example for you, Dirk. Hey, Faye, can you help me? Because I'm actually streaming, so I can't, put it in there. Can you put Danny DeVito, penguin in chat, like a picture of him, real quick? I want to show you.
Like him in
Danny
a
DeVito.
in a flamingo outfit or him as the Batman
as the penguin.
okay.
From the movie.
Yeah, from the movie. I want to show you something. So that's Danny DeVito. Now find a penguin from like the early 2000s from the anime or the cartoons.
Okay.
Wasn't it just like a fat guy with a long nose?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
So I just want to show you something. So again, this is the penguin that I grew up with, right? So they okay.
Yep.
Now, Faye, can you put in the penguin from this year, the 2024, from the I think it was an Amazon. It was an
Colin
anime they
Farrell.
released. Can you put that one in there?
I think it was from Gotham, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's.
No. This guy.
Oh, you want the?
No.
Oh yeah.
Bravo.
Okay, so no, keep going. So there was a cartoon in 2024 they released. Can you put that penguin in here? So you see the three penguins, right? Of what we see throughout the years. I want to show you what 2024 now has brought over. So if you look at Danny DeVito to that guy, you look at that cartoon to this cartoon. As long as he puts it in there here in a second. Yeah. So that happened.
Oh,
What the Sigma is that?
It's a girl penguin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Women can be horrible, greedy penguins too.
Absolutely. But now she owns a boat, like a big boat, and this penguin is in crime, in charge of the crime from the boat and things like that. And she bosses her sons around and things like that, and they totally screwed up the whole penguin character. And I'm looking at it, and I think this is like a perfect example for what you're talking about, Dirk, because this is what's happening to writing today in video games, in movies, in
Yeah,
pop
that's pretty
culture.
much what I'm getting across.
Yeah.
It's Colin Farrell's version of him.
Put a check in it and make it gay.
Now,
Colin Farrell
No.
is the best penguin so far.
I agree.
now two things.
See, like that
So-
bothers me so much.
So two things. The Colin Farrell thing, they did also rename Penguin from being Oswald Cobblepot to Oz Cobb. So he doesn't have his full name anymore. And then the second thing is
Dude.
with that female cartoon penguin version, they've actually been doing that with other characters as well in the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Instead of putting in actual Mr. Freeze, they put in
Mrs.
a
Freeze.
Butch Mrs.
I'm-
Freeze.
I'm
Shit,
cool.
y'all remember
Wow.
April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? You remember when they took her ass away from us?
Dude, they took her completely away.
Yeah.
She's
Like,
just
I'm
fucking
cool.
Mindy Kaling before the Ozempic now. She
Like,
sucks.
I
Go
feel
ahead,
like,
Bala.
as the resident woman of this chat, I'm all for seeing women representation and things, but don't take a character that already exists,
Thank you,
right?
Vala.
As a guy, like this
Thank
is a
you,
male
Vala.
character. It's an established character, and then just redo them as that feels like a cheap shot. That doesn't make me
yeah.
feel like I've been represented in a show.
Well-
That makes me feel like they're trying to do something like sneaky and be like, look at us, we're so cool. And I'm like, no.
Look
So
at
that's-
you. You can have a
Almost
the
does
biggest
the
problem.
opposite.
Well,
Yeah, but-
Like,
it's, so
if you
somebody,
want, they
You
just
hit
need
it right
to
in the head,
make
Bala.
all they
Who
gotta
said
do
it?
is make a woman villain. Just make a new one. That's
said
it.
it?
Just
Was-
rewrite it. Write a new good one, and that's all you got to do to make a representation.
Well,
Like it's
that's the
fictional
problem.
universe in the first place. Just make one.
That's the problem. I think Dirk or Odor said about the writing. They don't know how to write good character stories anymore. And this is another form of that, where they're taking existing characters with existing backgrounds and stories already written for them, and then just changing them into
I
what they want, like girls in
swear-
this position. And it's like, here you go. It's a character that
I
we made.
swear,
Like, no,
though,
it isn't. You actually made it worse.
read better original character fan fiction on AO3 than I have seen some of these shows make characters.
Yeah.
Like I've seen better fan fiction than I have real published characters on TV. Like when how they're trying to remake them. Like why? If a freaking 16-year-old girl in her bedroom can write a character, why can't a company who has millions and billions of dollars be able to do it?
I
Because
don't-
there's
I don't
an
know
old dude in a chair that thinks he's a good writer.
I don't know if any of you
Name
have
is
seen
Tony.
the Batwoman TV show that was on CW that got canceled.
That was tragic.
Batwoman is an actual character, and that's fun and cool. And she's a good character. But they made a Batman show with Batwoman instead, and then all her villains were just female versions of all the Batman characters. So she had a female Joker,
Oh, the villains,
a female
yeah.
Riddler. What are you doing? You're just
But why?
this is just Batman that you didn't want to
With
make
extra
as
steps.
Batman.
Yeah, I think Vala hit on the nose. And again, I think this is what the main issue is with games and pop culture and video, and movies, et cetera, is they're taking established characters and changing them. Dude, I have 4 sisters. I am all for women power, representation, because I do believe that we are absolutely somewhat should be equal when it comes to these things, or at least represented, right?
For
But
video games, yeah,
yeah, but
definitely.
it should definitely be like a brand new thing. Like I hate
Yeah.
the fact that when they use a different character and then just modify it. Like what would happen if Lara Croft from Tomb Raider just became a dude named Chuck? Like
would be
there would
Yeah,
be
like
fucking
people wouldn't
riots in the
want.
street.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just become Duke
There-
Nukem?
There kind of is a
It
there kind of is a male version of Lara Croft. It's Uncharted. Actually.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the
They're
same,
not
dude.
marketing it as
Yeah,
like
no.
the same thing.
I-
It's just a cheap shot. It doesn't
It
make
is.
me as a woman feel represented in anything. It just makes me feel like they're. It does the opposite effect. Like it makes me almost feel disrespected. It's like they can't even bother to just
Yeah.
put like an actual.
You're cool
character
too.
in.
Yeah, and I think that's the main issue with these remakes. Going back to video games, like I think like a lot of the fear from gamers. I know me, for example, I fucking fear trying these remakes out because like I remember playing the old and I'm like, oh my god, and then I'll see something and that shit will trigger me. There, I'll have to go on a drinking bench for like 3 weeks just to kind of get over it.
One
So-
game I really would like to see remake. Like they're not remaking the right games. Like, could you imagine if they remade like Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy?
Dude, that's what I'm
That
saying.
would be fire.
I would
I don't
love
care.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
care about a KOTOR remake. It's art. You can replay it and still have the same amount of fun. But Jedi Academy, it's hard. It has the best like Star Wars fighting mechanics in any Star Wars game ever. I mean, they could make a sequel even, but
what if
they're
they
not touching it.
What if they mail Kyle Katarn as like Justin Bieber?
All right.
He kind of
Well, they have to put P. Diddy in the game.
He has the hairstyle already.
He did is the ultimate boss at the end. He's the end game boss. No, so yeah, I think again, I hope that answers you guys' question. I know we went on like a really crazy tangent there for the remakes. I actually wondered if does anybody have anything else they want to say about this, because I do have a topic I want to actually bring up for us to discuss.
Bring up
Go
the
ahead.
final topic.
We have a few more, but no. So there is a new expansion for Diablo 4. I think dropping either today or this week, right?
I think it dropped Monday.
Yeah.
Tell me about this expansion, Guns. I don't know about it.
Yeah, from what I hear, people are in love with it. And I don't play Diablo. I never did, but I do keep up with it. I know Fate was gonna go play. That's why I actually brought it up, because he's
Yeah.
like a big fan.
Yeah.
From what I hear, people are in love with it. So I'm trying to figure out how they're having, if it is a good expansion, why their expansions are normally pretty good when, we look at expansions for World of Warcraft or, God forbid, a SWTOR expansion where I just want to shoot myself in the face. But
It's honestly a bunch of shit eaters. They love eating dick, and Blizzard fed them a dick, and they're gobbling it up. To be very honest with you, I know that's a very like dick thing to say, pun intended, but like that game had so many problems. They went backwards to release D4, had so many issues, kept like baiting people into continuing to play it and spend money on their cash shop for a year, then say, oh hey, we finally fixed it, but you have to buy the expansion now. It's like, then why did I give you my original $70? Was it like, apparently I paid you $70 to play a beta for a year, only for you to then charge me another like $40 to play a complete game? And I think a lot of people are just like, new game, oh, it's Diablo, maybe it's good now, and they're gonna play the story, which in Diablo 4 the story was good, like the cinematic, like it looked pretty, but the issue wasn't that. The issue was you get to max level and you do the loop, because that's what Diablo 4, that's what these ARPG games are. It's the end where you just like farm and play to get the gear. We'll see how that goes, but from Blizzard's track record with like D4 and how long it took them to correct D3, I think that in like a few weeks, people are really going to get upset because it's still not where it should be. And then we got Path of Exile in November, and I don't think anybody's going to be playing D4 in November once PoE 2 comes out.
Damn, that's a take right there. Because, so actually, I this morning and like this afternoon, I watched Asmon and a few of the others, and go, rave about it. Interesting take, Mr. Fate.
No, like they raved about D4 when it first came out too. I watched Asmon, I watched the other streamers play D4 on day one, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is so great! I'm having so much fun. My skills feel impactful. Look at this cutscene. Everything looks fantastic." And then you gave it like a week or 2 weeks for them to hit like the end of the game, and then like the problems started showing, and then those same people started complaining about the game instead of being like, "Oh my god," they were like, God damn, this is garbage. I don't want to log in and play this anymore.
Asmongold will kind of dick eat anything Blizzard comes out with, and then like maybe 2 weeks later he'll say it's the worst thing he's ever played. But I think he's so blinded by nostalgia that anything Blizzard makes that's new, he's like, this is the new game.
Well, even with D4, the expansion, he went in it just saying, and he said it multiple times, guys, this is their final chance. This is their fourth final chance for D4.
And then they'll get a fifth one.
Caaz, Dirk, any chance you guys are going to play D4 or no?
I already played when it released, and I got to max level, and then all my fun just vanished.
Yeah.
Told you. Told you.
Yeah, it's not good for me either. Go ahead, Caaz.
I had that same experience. Dirk and I bought the game, played it together, got to end game. I was trying to play a druid before they fixed it. It was terrible. There was only one viable build. Everything else was trash. And it's just not a fun game. Blizzard had a chance to make an open world Diablo. They did not make a good open world Diablo. And agreeing with Fate, it should not take a year, $70, a premium battle pass, and a cash shop for them to be like, we fixed it. If you pay another $45.
Yeah, real dude.
Now, I will. There's a little cheat you can do here, a little tips, tricks kind of thing. If you do want to try it out for anybody watching or listening in, if you get the Xbox Game Pass, you can get a trial for I think like 15 or 30 days for $1. $1, and it does include D4 and Vessel of Hatred. So if you want to give it a shot and not spend like the total of like $80 or whatever the shit it is, sign up for $1 and play it, and for 15, 30 days, whatever it is, and then there you go. You played it for $1. You can see how it is before you spend your money.
It's a good idea.
Holla holla for $1.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I did not play D4, I'll be honest, at all. But I did have a really good time. I have some friends here in Chicago, and we have like a little, gaming group, and we play, a lot of like, shooters together. And a few of us actually went to try out D3 when it came out. And I believe I played the monk. It was the guy with the staff that you just swirl it around. I had a really good time for about 2 weeks. After that, it was just really repetitive, and it's not really my type of game after that. So I did not even want to give, Diablo 4 a chance, because I was like, well, I'm going to play this for a week and get bored, because that's not, the kind of stuff I enjoy.
It's all right, Guns. Me and Tony both wasted $100 each.
Yeah, I didn't want to. It wasn't even about the money. It was just the fact that I didn't want to waste my time,
We've wasted $400 this year on shitty games.
I know. Probably more, to be honest.
But you did it for the old crew, so everybody would know not to waste their money, right?
Bro, I got Starfield for $100 and Diablo 4 for $100.
Again,
Same.
Starfield on Game Pass. You could have played it for $1.
I bought it because I wanted to be like, I support Bethesda.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be good. They said I could smuggle. They fucking lied to me. Todd Howard's a bastard.
They got our asses good.
Todd Howard is like
Always
the
good.
emperor that was like posing as Palpatine, that we all like.
Yeah.
We all believed in him.
He is.
Why would
It's
you
like-
believe him now after the lies and bullshit he sold you with Fallout 76?
It's like when Obi-Wan said
I didn't play
he sold us
Fallout
a lie, and we all
76,
believed
so I
in
had
him.
hope.
I was going to say, I didn't play Fallout 76. I was like, a Fallout 4 live service game? That sounds like shit.
I mean, it was shit, and they like scammed a lot of people out of a lot of money, and then
Still
like
is.
lied on promotional items. They were like, you can get this like duffel bag, and it's like I forget what burlap
buy
or
off
something.
the cash shop.
It was like a
instead of playing
burlap
the game.
sack.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
sent them like a plastic fucking garbage bag with like a printed Fallout sign on it, and people were like, dude, what the shit
Yeah.
is this?
I mean, it's accurate. Accurate in my opinion.
Yeah,
$300 later, dude.
Anyway, I think as our last, because we are kind of reaching that time here, as our last part of the podcast, since we're all here, we're all gamers. Why don't we go down the line and maybe everybody has one game that was, in your opinion, the biggest scam in history that you played. Don't talk about games that you didn't play. Games that you tried that was the biggest scam that you were like, why the hell did I buy this? I will start. For me, it was Bless. It was Bless Online. that fucking MMO, dude, it came out and we were so hungry for an MMO. I talked everybody into it, and I started saying sweet nothings in their ear, like, oh, this will be the best MMO ever, bro. We all came within 3 days. Everybody left and it was just me. I even bought like a bunch of shit for it, and like a month later they canceled the whole MMO and they were like, yeah, we're gonna go to Russia now. Goodbye. And yeah, we all lost all that money. I probably lost a couple $100. I'm not even gonna lie. That was fucking assholes. That was, for me, that was crazy. Fate, why don't you go next?
The day before.
Tony doesn't legendary on me.
That was the game I was thinking too.
Yeah, the day before. It was a open world multiplayer zombie kind of shooter extraction type of game. And no one really knew exactly what the shit that game was about.
It wasn't a game at all.
Yeah, it wasn't a game. Like they kept saying it's real, it's real, it's real, and then all of a sudden, hey, we were gonna release it, but we didn't release it because the owner of the company didn't freaking patent the goddamn name of the game, and some random guy took it.
Oh Lord!
They're making a new game, by the way.
And then they made other games before, but
no, now they're making a game now.
They will continue making games. It's just what it is. But the game released, and there's actual footage of people trying it, and my God, was it so bad? I
love the streamers coping. Oh yeah, it's fun, man.
Tony, can you come to me?
People could increase their character.
Come to me. I have a legendary up.
And they could increase their entire character's body size to be the entire map and just walking around bigger than buildings. And the gun firing was just like a JPEG of bullets and muzzle flashes on your screen, like somebody drew it in MSN Paint. The game was just
that's too funny.
Awful.
Dude.
There was no other players around ever.
What about you, Odra? What's yours?
The day before.
I
bought that game. I think I pre-ordered it actually a year before it came out, because they were like, yeah, it's coming out next week. Just kidding, it's coming out in a year and a half.
Oh, geez,
you know what's the worst part about it?
A riot.
Will Smith fucking sponsored the game. He advertised the goddamn.
We should have
game.
known.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude. Well, what about you, Caaz, Dirk? You guys got one?
I'll let Dirk go first.
I'm saving Vala for last.
Oh, thank you.
What's your biggest scam, Dirk? Scam game.
If you say condoms, we're leaving.
No, dude, it's kind of hard. There's a lot of games, dude, where I feel like I got straight up scammed, dude.
Swotor?
I'm gonna be real. Yeah, real. I would say Starfield was one where I was just huge disappointment all around, because I thought I was gonna be able to be a space trucker, and I was completely disappointed when I was not able to do that anywhere close to that at all. And when I got legendary ore and I tried to sell it, it was worth $2, and I was like, dang. What a waste. So after that, dude, I was like, I can't believe I spent $100 thinking that I'm gonna
what about you, Caaz?
My biggest scam game of the last decade was Elite Dangerous. It was supposed to be bringing back the space genre, and instead what it did was it compromised on basically every single one of the promises during the Kickstarter. I supported it during Kickstarter. I've thrown countless amounts of money at it. I put a bunch of money into their cash shop to support them, to try and continue to make them develop the game, but they have a really stupidly slow development cycle. Turns out the guy who made the game back in the 80s had this really dumb anti-player mindset, and when they could have made the game more fun, they decided that realism was key, so it takes you 25 minutes to cross a single system if you wanted, because of how slow it is to move in the game. So it's just now finally deciding to get into the hands of somebody younger who's like, this is not fun, we should do this. And it's turning better, but I mean, you're talking 10 years of what should have reinvigorated the space game area, and instead it's just a blip.
Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. That was no bueno on my end too. What about you, Vala?
Okay, hear me out.
Oh,
And I don't play it anymore because I think it's just a big scam, and the community sucks. But League of Legends.
really? That's surprising.
I played maybe, oh god, if like 15 years worth of League of Legends, almost as long as it's been out. Like I was playing League.
Big
I
scam.
have so many skins in that game. And I fed into it hard when I was younger. And it was like, all they had to do was be like, oh, here's another, give me another $10 and you get this fancy skin. And I'm like, sold, you got me.
You said some crazy shit to people in chat.
Yeah. I used to play a lot of League. That was like the only game I played.
Okay, so it's more the skins, right?
But all they do now is they just do skins. They do skins, and then they like nerf characters, and then they like sometimes give you a new one, and then there's like 100 or something characters now, and it's like they need to just like, I don't know, it's repetitive.
Why
There's
are you
nothing
yelling?
new. It's a scam.
League mentality.
It's gotten me riled up because it's
gonna be okay.
It's coming out.
I turned you down.
I'm having non-flashbacks over League.
All right, so yeah, I play League of Legends. I'm not gonna lie, for a little bit. It's not really my type of game. But Fate made me go play it with him for a little bit, and it was okay.
It makes me like viscerally angry every time I play that game.
You may like the new Valve game. It's like Overwatch mixed with Smite. It's like the MOBA, like the League of Legends.
You mean Concord?
No.
Yeah.
What's the game called? I'm sure you guys know what it is.
As long as you don't say Dota, because that's even worse.
It's not Flintlock. It's something else.
Hey, so
Deathlock, yeah.
Tim in chat wanted us to bring up, I guess it could be our last topic because we are reaching that hour mark. Once Human and the Way of Winter, that's coming on October 17th. Does anybody
keep
up with Once Human in here, or is it just me?
It's just you.
I think it's just you.
Just you.
All right, well,
I played it for like a week and then
I played it once and then I never liked it.
Yeah, I also played it once, and
I can talk about it, Tim. I actually love Once Human. I think it's a fantastic game. It is free to play as well, so there's a lot of people playing it, and it's going to be on mobile soon. So you'll be able to tinker with your base and get things done at your base. Maybe do some dailies and things like that you need to do to kind of maintain your house while you play your bigger game on your PC. It's a fantastic game. It has a lot of problems too, though. It stutters a lot. There's a lot of lag in there. I mean, when we, M1's in chat, so you can say on this. When we were playing it, man, we were like running up, and all of a sudden you would be, kicked off your car or your bike and pulled back 200 feet because guess what? You got rubber banded back. Like the servers are not stable, and on top of that, there just is not enough content for PvE players. Like PvP players are fine because all they do is just PvP, right? But that's not the fun part about Once Human. Is everything else, and you have to pretty much wait 3 months or more or longer for new quests, new weapons, and you can finish their whole content in a week. So you're just pretty much sitting there, waiting for it. Again, I think the game is awesome. I just think that they definitely have some things they need to fix before people start leaving. So I don't know if you guys, again, we probably don't keep up with this, but I do. They went from having like 150 to 200,000 players when it first came out, down to 118 players for the first 3 months. Then it's dipped down to 90K players, and now it's between 60 to 70K. And there was the other night I checked, it dipped below 40K. So the game
still
is
not terrible.
It has the same. It has the same kind of thing that other ARPGs have. I say other, even though it's not an ARPG. But ARPGs, for the majority of them, are seasonal games where the end game loop is the same. And then like every 3 months they release a new season where they introduce like new unique items. You have to re-level again. You can carry some stuff over, and then you play that, and like you'll see the population spike as soon as that season releases, but then you'll see it drastically fall down over the course of the season, just like Once Human. And then the new season comes out and it spikes again, and then it slowly drops off, and then it spikes. That's how unfortunately a lot of those games that run seasons stuff are, because they don't make evergreen or like things that last throughout the entire game, they do like resets. So
Yeah, so I think that's another issue, and what he means by that, Tim, is action RPGs.
yeah, Diablo 4,
Yeah.
Diablo 2, 3.
It stops
Lost
at
Ark.
tab targeting, and you actually have to move and action wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, dude, I again, you guys probably know, I make a few videos, covering Once Human. I genuinely love the game, dude. There's so many people in my comments hating whenever I say anything bad about it, because they're like, "This is the greatest game ever made." I'm like, that's okay. It's okay to show criticism. My thing is, like Fate said, the seasonal thing is fine if you do it right, but it's ridiculous that they wipe your character pretty much after that 6 weeks, and then you have to wait another 6 weeks, or like your progress, I should say, with your house or your levels. You have to redo everything once again as you wait for the new content. Like, in my opinion, and again, it was one of those things where if they would just leave it alone and every wipe, for the server, that would be the new content. Like, I'm pretty sure most people would be okay with that. But the fact that you have to re-level, then you have to remake your house, then you have to re-get all your resources, and all this stuff is just kind of annoying.
And wait
And
3 more months for 1 week of content.
yeah, yeah, and I mean,
this-
again, it's just for me. I love the game, and sorry, one was like in Fate. I love the game. It was just like I went in the PvP server, dude, and there was nothing to do. Like, I got super bored within, like, I haven't been back in about 6-7 days, and I'm actually trying to go back, and it's like a hassle to log back in.
Now, what they're missing and what they should do, so in ARPGs, action RPGs, like Diablo 4, like Path of Exile, and all the other ones, what those games have on top of their like seasonal, because their seasons are the same. You have to make a brand new character and you re-level from level 1, but now there's like this unique mechanic that sometimes really changes like the entire experience, sometimes not as much. But what they have is a normal server that you can play through, you can have characters on, and like all the seasonal stuff, like for people who don't want to make characters every season to play on them, when that season is over, all of the seasonal stuff is moved to the regular server. So then those people get to play it, and your character that you made on the seasonal server also gets transferred over to the regular server too. So, eventually those people will get to play it, and it won't be that big of an issue. You don't have to restart anything. You can just continue playing your character. That's what Once Human is missing. You have that weird little like pocket dimension that you can do your personal housing thing, but that's it. You can't like actually do anything else. It's just like your little base that you can have permanently in that little pocket dimension. But they should make like a server that all the seasonal stuff goes to after seasons are finished that doesn't get reset.
Yeah, so apparently Tim said this, and I actually heard about this too. They're going to be coming up with perma scenarios, which is going to be permanently on. I mean, if they don't put anything new in there at the same point, it's like whatever, right? So we just have to see. I mean, Once Human, I had a really good time, with it for what it was. The last 2 months have not been so fun, I'll be honest. So it's just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen on October 17th. So we'll go from there. Does anybody want to bring up anything else? We are at that hour mark. So before we conclude.
No.
Oh,
Not really.
No? All right. One more time, we want to say again, for all of our friends and, audience and listeners that are in Florida, our prayers are with you. Good luck, folks. I hope you guys, if you need help, reach out, get the hell out of there if you can. Otherwise, we want to wish you guys the best of luck, and we will see you after this craziness.
I will not leave my post.
Yeah, Dirk is our traveling Mandalorian Jedi over there. So
He's walking outside with an American flag.
that's right. Florida,
In a
baby.
Speedo.
All right, folks. Thank you guys again for joining us. And we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.
See ya.